Good evening, everybody. I think there's like two people in the room. Shall I do it again? Good evening, everybody. That's better. I'm used to like, when I talk or ask, people answer back, you get me? Yeah? It's all good. Anyway, my name's Courtney. I'm from Take One Studios. I manage Take One Studios. And the whole ethos behind this event, Communicate, is about people in the industry starting out, doing what they're doing, just knowing, being able to talk with people, communicate, share skills, network, make things happen at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Because I just find that there's not a lot of that happening. People are doing what they're doing in isolation and not knowing what's happening on the general bigger picture. You know what I mean? And Nottingham is a very diverse place and a lot of things happening, a lot of artists. I know a few people in here, you know what I mean? And I know they're actively doing what they're doing, you know what I mean, in their own little thingy. But it's about seeing what the bigger picture is, networking, and seeing if you can lead on to other things and make things happen. My background is like I'm saying, I teach music technology in the daytime to young kids, and I'm a budding producer. Haven't made that number one yet, but I'm still trying. Yeah, been in the music industry for a minute, working hard at it. But I do a lot of work working with young kids and young artists, helping them in the studio, from recording to all of that type of stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah? And beside me, I have a panel of legends. Yeah, I'm going to say legends. Yeah? These are people I've known throughout my career, doing what I'm doing, that I've seen actively doing what they do and doing it of a level, yeah? So I'll start with this young man here beside me and let him tell you who he is and what he does.
Good evening, everyone. All right, we're getting a bit louder. Give me some alcohol or something. No, I'm joking. I'll give you a short little story. So my name's KC. I'm from Nottingham originally. I've been making music for 20 odd years now. In terms of my journey, I'll give you a short synopsis. So basically, when I started off making hip hop 20 odd years ago, nobody wanted to listen to me. Nobody was interested in what I was doing, but I wasn't really bothered because I kind of, is anyone artist here? Put your hand up if you're an artist. Yeah, I kind of had that vibe that I'm going to do it anyway, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I just made music. I used to come to Courtney's studio, drop little freestyles there, and then luckily for me, I got to travel abroad, and I was in Germany, because like, I was a soldier in Germany. And then I ran away from the army and decided I was going to do music. They couldn't find me, and for 6 months I was just laying low. Yeah. And for 6 months I was just laying low, making music, because that's what my passion was. And then someone said to me, yo, you need to do this, take this seriously. So I handed myself in. I thought they was going to put me in jail, because the rule is in the army, however long you're gone for, you can get put in jail for that amount of time. So I thought I was going to go in jail for 6 months. But I told a really good lie, and I didn't get jail for 6 months. And then they released me out of the army, and then yeah, I started making music, and about 3-4 months later, it was a blessing. Like, I got my first record deal, 1994. Fast forward a few years, I was on tour with like Wu-Tang, Eminem, signed to East West Records, met all my heroes at the time in hip hop music, people called Gangstar Guru, the Fugees, just toured with all the greats really. And yeah, I had to pinch myself a few times, released 3 albums, then came back to Nottingham, worked in St. Anne's, opened a studio there at the Sycamore Centre. Anyway, fast forward all that, now I've got my own charity in Snenton, still helping young people, and still doing what I love, yeah, doing music. That's a short story about me.
Not sure I'll be able to follow that one, bro. Sorry. No, you're cool. My name's Liati. I run a studio called The Elements in the city centre. We specialise mainly like hip hop, rap music, trap, drill, basically music of black origin. Started out when I was 16, 17 DJing. I went to college to learn about music. kind of dubbed me though, because the course wasn't particularly about music, but they did have a radio station, so I started there and bought my first like vinyls, fell in love with it. Bedroom producer. I'm obviously a lot older than some of you guys, so it was a lot more difficult back then to make equipment in the bedroom. Like it was not that straightforward. You needed like, now you can make a record on a laptop in a bedroom or whatever. Got my first studio together. Oh my gosh, can't remember what year it was, but it was, the idea being it was a place for me just to create music. It wasn't really something that I wanted to do as a commercial venture. But then people started hearing what we was doing. It's like, oh, I'll pay you a few quid to record this. So steep learning curve. One of my first clients was like a R&B singer, and he was doing like 5-part harmonies on every different phrase on the track, and I was trying to keep up. It was a lot. It was like a big learning process, but I got a buzz from it. So that went well. They liked what we did. More work came in, and then the reputation spread. And then, yeah, what it was is I got into this to be a producer. But what I did end up doing was spending a good 10, 15 years building the Elements as a commercial studio. Worked with loads of different people, known these guys for a lot of years. Kind of helped to develop quite a few people's careers. I suppose most recently, like people like Brucey, he started out with us. People like Window Kid, people like that, doing incredibly well now. And yeah, so fast forward where I'm at the moment, really focusing on my production career now in terms of myself, what I'm doing. I produce rap music predominantly. I do commercial music, so I work with commercial record labels. I also work with production music labels, so doing music for film and TV as well. I do artist development for people like NQ Records, which is Manchester, which is H's label. They send me people, I do development work with them. And yeah, sometimes we do some community-based stuff as well, which is really important. So we work with kind of alternative provisions, like we give like a day a week away in the studio, not give it away, but a day a week in the studio we kind of dedicate to doing like people that are struggling to kind of get through school, like different alternative provisions will come in. We'll try and support the situation and just try and build a bit of structure. Yeah, I think that's me really, I think, yeah.
Yes. 1, 2. My name's Trevor Rose, Big Trev, younger brother. Courtney's my big brother. I forgot what you actually asked. You know what? You lot talk so long, I forgot actually what the question was, you know. Yeah, talk about me, okay. Okay, I'll talk about me. Yeah, man. That's the easy thing. Okay, so I'm not giving out no ages anyway, so you have to figure that out yourself anyway. So I just keep it simple. We started out really down here, just a couple of doors down, nice and green. You get what I'm saying to you? And like, we were just a group of, kids. And back in the days, if you remember, or ask your dad or ask whoever, they used to put kung fu films on, late nights. So we was like 10, 11 years old. I used to run from St. Anne's, run across the forest in the dark and think, why? And you'd run there and you'd watch all night kung fu films. And you know when you've got no natural skill or talent that you're aware of, sometimes you look and you see things and you think that resonates. And I used to always think, I'm going to be a martial arts star, that's it. I'm going to be the greatest thing that ever came. And it wasn't supposed to happen though, you get what I'm saying to you? But I didn't know that at the time. But the joke is that aspiration, when you see things, you think, I'm going to do that, I can do that. And breakdancing became out 83 officially. They brought a set of breakdance from America and they walked into Market Square. I just left school, so yeah, whatever, I've kind of slipped there, haven't I? But anyway, I've gone to Market Square and playing as you do, and these guys are just spinning on their head doing all that. And I'm like, yo, this is like ridiculous. At this point, I'm trying to do the Bruce Lee kick and the swing and the jump. But now I'm going, yeah, I'm doing this. I can do this. So we've gone and that's it. Every day after that, we're spinning on the head, Breakers Corner, back of Vic Centre, the bridge, we stand on there till whatever time. All the time I'm just saying, I can do this. No one's ever told me I can or can't, but I can do this. We got lucky. Boys Club took us on tour. So me, my brother, and all of us, we went around Europe for a few years. That was what, 83, 84, 85. We were doing breakdancing competitions, challenges. We performed on TV. And you just think, yeah, I know I can do this. I'm doing it. The music changed really quickly. So I'll give you the short version because I know we're here to talk and ask questions and things. But here's the short version then. The music changed quite quickly back then. Before you know it became a pop sensation. We was kind of streetwise and, you know what I mean? We was like, yeah, you dressing kind of rugged and thing. So we didn't really want to do too much pop stuff. I did do some. I performed with loads of pop artists back in the days as a backing dancer. but we didn't really want to specialize in that. So someone says, Delroy Peterkin, I'll big him up straight away. He says, stop moaning about the music, we're gonna make your own then, if you don't like the music you're dancing to. So we got a grant, City Challenge, and we set up the studio. 89, we got the grant, 91 door opens. So 91 till now, there's been a whole legacy. I'll tell you more about that as we go along, because I don't want to chat too much, you know what I mean? Because I like talking about me, I'm all right talking about me, you know what I'm saying to you? But 91 on till now, we've done a lot. And I've evolved a lot as well, you know what I'm saying to you? The one thing I would say, I'll finish on one line. When I started, a local community worker says, oh, I get it, loads of kids you got in there, you're like a youth worker. And I was like, what are you talking about? I ain't a youth worker, bitch. I'm a record manager. You know what I'm saying to you? I'm an A&R. And I'm a youth worker. 30 kids come in, 50 kids come in. No matter how many kids come, we let them in. 70 kids come, we let them in. I'd never admit to being a youth worker. Now, I'm a youth worker. Yeah, man.
Evening, everyone. My name is Santos. People know me as Escobar, DJ Escobar, the juggling boss. I'd say I've been DJing for about 13 years. Took it serious for about 10 of them. The first 3 years wasn't that serious. Before that, I was actually an MC, so I was in the music. Like some of you guys, I used to come Courtney's and make bare racket, beg him to give me a room and bring my DJ in there and make up bare noise, and people would come like it's a big dance, but it wasn't that. But at that time, I used to buy records. So I always knew in my head that, oh, I like the DJ inside of it as well. So fast forwarding on, after all the MCing at Courtney's, Courtney ran into like suitcases full of records. I don't know where they came from. I think someone gave them to him. And he had no use for them, so he pushed them onto me. I think he just wanted to get rid of the storage. I started using them, going through them. Duplicates, I had some at my house because my dad was a sound man at the time. DJ more, and then I just decided, like, I'm gonna do this. I think I made a mix CD with like 90 songs on. I just mixed them so fast, it was never heard of. Everyone was a bit shocked, like, you did that? Gave it out. Continued. Someone come to me and said, I think you should keep taking it serious. And I think I got my first booking, DJ Spider, Kieran, big up yourself. He gave me a booking with Shawnee B. At the time, that was a big thing, because to get booked with a big radio DJ, and I haven't even been in the game a year, the DJs were furious about it. They were all talking about it. I heard all the little murmurs, but I went with my songs. I pulled it off like I knew I would, because anything I'm going to do, I put my mind to it, make sure I'm prepared for it. That went off. Fast forward a couple of years, I joined up a sound called Gamrock. Been on tour Gambia, went to Jamaica. I've DJ'd in other countries. I've DJ'd with most of the big stars in the UK at the time of their era. Trevor Nelson, your Tim Westwoods, your Charlie Sloth, Shawnee B, like I said, your Rampage, Targets, and also on the dancehall side of stuff, if you know about Jamaican music, the Tony Matarans, the Mighty Crowns, Stone Love, that's a big one that people might know from Culture Clash. And I'd say fast forwarding now, since the pandemic, I thought my career was over in the pandemic. I thought everything was done, but kept on putting in the work. Courtney was like, do live streams, stayed on the live stream hard, came out of pandemic, and it's absolutely going off. And we're just pushing now, and as I'm here today, the juggling boss, Gamrock, make every girl rock. Look out for me.
Okay, people. So, basically, we're just going to go into some discussions. I'm going to be asking them some questions. But feel free to ask the panelists questions. That's what they're here for. Yeah? They're a wealth of knowledge and experience. So, if you've got anything you want to know, yeah, just ask. Yeah, at the end of the day, because my mum always says, if you don't ask, you're not going to know. Real talk, you get me? Before I go into all of that, I'd just like to big up New Art Exchange. Because of them, they sponsored this event. Without them, it won't be happening. So give it up for New Art Exchange, please. Airdigital Studios. Yeah. Also, we've got, when you all came in, you got a raffle ticket. Did everyone get a raffle ticket? That raffle ticket wins you a music video done by Shutter House, my man over there. Yeah? So we'll be drawing that later. I always forget something. I always do, but you know what? Don't watch nothing. We're going to move on now, yeah? So I'm Trevor's brother, so we talk, yeah? So like I was saying, if you've got anything you want to ask, yeah? Feel no way. But I'm going to kick it off, and I'm going to start with this man here, KC. Multi-talented, because he's an artist. He's a podcaster. He's a radio presenter. What don't you do, fam? He does everything. He doesn't sleep. Did you hear that? He doesn't sleep. I love that. But let's look at your radio presenting. Because I was watching the other day and I seen you at BBC Derby.
Yeah, that's a funny story, actually. That's a funny story. So I wouldn't say I'm I am kind of a radio presenter. But there was basically what I realized is, those of you that make music, or whether it's as an artist or producer or whatever, what I realized is a few years ago, if you're a creative, yeah, you can literally use that talent and put it into anything that you want. So you could design a vacuum cleaner if you wanted. You know what I'm saying? Because you're creative. So I realized very early on, yeah, I can use the power in any field I want to use. Do you know what I mean? The reality is sometimes, you might not have got where you want to get to in your career, so you might have to get a 9 to 5, yeah? But if you're a creative, you'll be the best at the 9 to 5 in your workplace. So remember that, yeah? So anyway, I say all that to say that I was at work one day and I saw that the BBC was doing a competition, and the competition was to get your own radio show on BBC Radio Nottingham. And this was about 3-4 years ago. And I was like, I can do that, yeah? So the first stage of the competition, you had to go and you had to speak for 60 seconds and tell a story.
I was there.
You was there,
Yes,
right?
I
Yeah,
was
you
there.
was there. Yeah, you was there. So I went and told a little story, and then, I got through to the next round. And it was a little bit like The Apprentice, yeah? There was loads of rounds or whatever. And I just kept going back and getting to the next round, So then it got to the final and we was down to the last 4. And I was like, oh, shit, can we swear, by the way? Oh, sorry, yeah. That's the rapper in me. I was like, raw, I can, I might actually win this. And then they set me up, man. It was like live, the finals was live on air. And then it was like, KC, it could be you. And I was like, raw, I might win this. I started like fixing myself. And then anyway, long story short, I didn't win, yeah? And at the time I was confused, like, no, how have I not won? Because like, I'm a big believer, like I learned to meditate and manifest things, and I'd visualize myself winning this thing, but she told me I didn't win. So the rapper in me, I was vexed, like, nah, I hate the BBC, man, F them, man. But then what happened was they called me right after the finals and was like, yo, you didn't win, but actually, we like you so much, do you want to come and work at the BBC anyway? And I was like, yeah, go on then. And then I came, and then actually, let me fast forward, the role that I had was actually better than the person that won, because I got to keep my full-time job, and then at night I would go and have a show on there, and they was paying me as a freelancer, so I was doubling up, basically. Do you know what I'm saying? And I've always kept that relationship with the BBC now, and now I go all around the region whenever they need me, and yeah, that's how my radio DJing started, basically. So I say all that to say, sometimes when you lose, you really win, so don't be afraid to fail, because you might win. Yeah, there you go.
So, as a radio, like, you're in there, you're not on you're here. So, because times have changed and things have changed over time, with especially the radio. So, how relevant do you think the radio stations are nowadays for music artists and that?
To be honest, I don't think they're that relevant these days. I think they're on their way out, and this is why I started a podcast. I think you need to be like a few steps ahead. Do you know what I mean? I remember years ago when someone said to me, yo, man, check out this new thing. It's called YouTube. I was like, that's going to be nothing, man. And I realized, look at YouTube now. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes you got to be a bit of a visionary and kind of, try and think a few steps ahead. And I think like podcasting is going to overtake the radio. Do you know what I mean? And someone said to me a few weeks ago, Like, it seems that there's loads of podcasters out there, but actually we're still at the very start of podcasting. So you could all go and start one tomorrow and you'd still be very early in the game, like 10 years from now. Do you know what I mean? That's when there's going to be loads of podcasters. So don't be afraid to try things, fail things. Like I said, this creativity thing, you can use it anywhere. Like, I'm a comedian, I do stand-up, I act, I was rapping for 15 years at a high level. So I know that this creativity, don't just keep it in one box. Actually, there is no box. So just remember that. That's what I'd say.
Got a question over here.
Hi, I've got a question, and I don't want it to sound rude, but because you guys have seen many generations of like music and like different things that have happened, like DJs and different sound, the way that parties are different in general. How do you find that you like stay up to the times, basically, because it's always the children that are gonna get you the money. Like, all people, they want mortgages. That's not gonna pay you. So like, how do you manage to like do that?
I'll take that if that's all right.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, check. I think you stay relevant by staying passionate. So like, say my situation in the studio, a lot of the artists that are coming through are young, like really young and fresh. And music changes always, it never stays still. I think if you stay still, then you're gonna get rolled over. Do you know what I mean? You're gonna start getting really kind of like some cobwebs developing on you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's really important just to stay passionate about what comes new. I think one thing that's challenging when people get older, I noticed that some people start to go, this is not like the music when I was 17. That's a killer. That's, for somebody that's trying to constantly kind of evolve, like you say, be creative and take it into different directions. Just be excited by what's happening now.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of easy for me as a producer because I'm not the face of what the music. I'm not trying to be the artist in front of the cameras all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm always looking for something that's new or something that's exciting, and that usually is coming from the youth. So I listen. That's really important. That me at my age, it's important that I listen to people that, I don't know how old you are, but I'm guessing it's a lot younger than me. It's important that I listen to you, and it's an exchange and it's a connection. So that's how I stay relevant. I'm always looking for something different. But then it's a beautiful thing because the experience that we hold, we can impart that into the new stuff. So it's like, it's a give and take, and I think that's important.
Sorry, I talk loads. I'm just gonna say.
I like talking too.
So I need to tell you this because it's very important, because like this whole, like when we started, the industry was really small, and now it's grown into this massive thing, this massive monster. Do you know what I mean? And if you're a creative, I would advise you to like remind yourself of how powerful you are, because you're actually more powerful than the monster. Do you know what I'm saying? When I say the monster, I refer to like Spotify, the streaming services, and all these things, because they try and turn you into a bit of a robot, and you feel like that you have to create all this music because there's so much content out there. But actually, you lot have the power, And I'll just leave you with this gem that I heard Mos Def say the other day. Like, civilizations, when they're finished, when they're over and done with, the currency is worth nothing, Currency is worth nothing. You don't care about the currency that the Incas used to use or nothing. It's actually the art is the most expensive thing. You know what I'm saying? So as artists, remember that you hold the jewels. You know what I'm saying? So when you're creating your music, take your time. You know what I'm saying? Mold it. You know what I'm saying? Love it. Be passionate about it, because you're the people that are going to create this art that lasts forever, way longer than the currency that you're using and everything. You know what I'm saying? So just remember that power. Do you know what I mean? And don't force yourself to, I got to throw out a song every week, or I got to do this. Take your time, because like a friend told me, cream always rises to the top. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Like, you can make that like that McDonald's music, or you can make that home good cooked music that your mum used to make for you. You know what I'm saying? It's different, innit? It's different. McDonald's, you've got that little sickly taste. But that nice food, shout out to McDonald's, but that nice food, you know what I'm saying? You just want to sleep after it, you know what I'm saying? So just remember your power as a creative, because, that's the cream. Thank you.
And being relevant, I'd say the simple thing is, when you spend a lot of time doing something, sometimes I watch a lot of artists come and we say, I see my man, he's got that kind of Kano flow, or he's got that rear. And you see, for a while, we admire that, or we respect that, or we we adhere to that. Oh, let me hear his next tune. But then when you get 20 rappers in a room and everyone's screaming with that Kano flow, you start thinking, we want that you who's kind of different. And sometimes difference is hard to define, because difference means that if everyone there starts wearing the latest Air Force One, I was like, where did Air Force come from? I don't know, I missed that bit anyway, where the Air Force came in and Air Force Ones and Twos. I was like, no one told me this, you know what I'm saying to you? But the trend set so quickly and we all got to have it.
Yeah.
My 9-year-old Pitney said, I want Air Force Ones, Dad. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying to you? But the difference sometimes is a lot more harder, a lot more respected in the long run for being that. But it's harder to be that because it's got to be, you've got to hold up your head and get laughed at.
Yeah.
You've got to hold your head and walk the room, know that people are going to be like, I don't really want to hear you,
Yeah.
Kind of know what it is you just done. But that's a true definition sometimes of certain people's legacy. They went that way while we all ran that way and went, do I really look like, LL Cool J or Riri? Oh, I didn't really know that, You well and know you did. You
Yeah.
well and know you came dressed like that.
Yeah.
And that's what your whole style is based upon. So there's a difference.
So like authenticity, you'd say.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Back to my chair. As we move on, has anyone got any questions before I move on? No? We'll see. So, Escobar, as a DJ, you're out there. Mate, this guy, every weekend, is at a dance. Maybe 2-3 dances in one night. This guy don't stop. He is a workaholic. Over the pandemic, this guy elevated and took DJing to a next level with live streams. Yeah? He set pace and people followed. Yeah? So, as a DJ, and you know people out there, a lot of young artists and that. What's your advice to them? How, you know what I mean? Like, how do they get to you and get you to be playing their thing?
For me to play an artist thing, first of all, I want to hear good music. Obviously, everyone thinks they've got good music. Some people do, some people don't. I think the attitude of the artist as well.
Yeah.
How prepared they are, how serious they come across.
Yeah.
Like I said, I say it to a lot of the artists, and a lot of them say, oh, you're like a granddad, man. You're always moaning, man. You're always telling us off. But I think it's important to take yourself serious, first of all, especially when you're going to approach people.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to approach a DJ and be like, oh, bust in the room, oh, I've got the hottest album, these are the hottest tunes, and you heard about me, I'm killing the streets, and then I say, all right then, send me your songs, and I said it, and I'll say it again, and then you try and airdrop me a song, and you tell me it's called I Run the Roads, or I Run the City, but it's labeled Audio 5743, I'm not going to find that. Do you know what I mean? So first of all, first thing I'm going to think is, you're a joker. You're not serious. You came and gave me all this chat. And the other thing is, be prepared. Like, anywhere you go. Like, there's always opportunities. I do a lot of stuff with charities and communities. Like, not so long ago, there was a story, a guy called Toby. He lived in Nottingham. He moved abroad to Dubai. Well, Spain, Dubai. Something happened anyway with the local authorities. He passed away. Rest in peace, Toby. And we did a stage show, you might call it, in Market Square. I don't know if any of you was down there. We had misperformed. Stylo G came through. Couple of the local artists. And what I seen was, when Stylo come, I personally know him. So it was just like, oh, give me any rhythm. Do you know what? Just play this rhythm, play that rhythm. He knew I'd have it. When the local artists come, I told them instrumentals that I've got, and they all got scared. So when I said, give me your stuff, no one had a USB, no one had a CD, no one had an email on, do you know what I mean? And for me, if you're telling me you're a serious artist, those are the standard things. And even going back to my day, like I said, I was an MC, I thought I was going to be the wickedest thing. I would have told you, I'll clash Stormzy, Chip can't talk to me, Ghetto's not on my level, all those stuff. That's what I would have told you when I was MCing. I'd have told you I'm the best and no one can't talk to me. But as me saying that, I would back it up. I would make sure I have got my music. I would make sure I've got a clean version. I've got a raw version. Do you know what I mean? Because there's always opportunities wherever you are. You could be in here now and I might say to you, oh, give me your tune. And you haven't got it, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, message me. I'm probably not going to look in my DM because I'm going to be like, you gave me the talk and it's not there. So my advice would just be, take it serious, be prepared, find out what you need. Like have your main songs that you've got, have a radio version, have a dirty version if it's got swearing in. Make sure you've got both versions. Always carry your key around with you. Do you know what I mean? If you're not too sure within yourself about going on certain instrumentals, have two of your favorite instrumentals on your stick. So when you turn up and say, let me perform something, you've got everything you need.
Yeah.
And you're not really giving the DJ a job.
Yeah.
And just have some manners. That's it as well.
Standard.
Not for the artist ain't got no manners.
That's right. Okay, so Big Trev, been in the industry for a minute.
Yeah, man. A couple seconds.
As a manager, yeah. What's your view on the music industry? Because you've been here from day dot up until now. And how do you feel? Has it changed for the better, the worse? And I'm talking from a manager's perspective and how it's dealing with and how the young artists them see it as well.
Yeah, honestly, we've been, okay, back in the day, the simple version is not to moan. Back in the day, we believed we was hip-hop's finest. So we believed we was going to set this legacy alight. We was going to make everyone know we are. We were going to big up Nottingham. So I set up a organization a few years back, not just myself on my own, but a group of us. We set up an organization and we put a group out called Art Deville. Now, if you know St. Anne's, we used to call it Stansville. Everyone has little names for places. So I thought, you know what? If we call it Out Deville, wherever we go, you'll always remember, never be able to forget that, we're from out of the Ville. So the further away the name goes, the intention's always going to be there, yeah? We used to go to London, jump on that train, go down there. I would take the artist to every place, record shop, hangout spot. If they was doing like a photo shoot for new up and coming artists in London, we would be there, getting involved, mingle, meet. Now, I'll give you the shortest version of a very long story. We'll talk about that another day. But there's an artist who used to be a massive New York DJ, played every major club, biggest thing ever. We got the chance to perform with him in Manchester. 7,000 people. We went down there. We buying matching clothes. You know what I mean? Everyone, we got there a day early. We're in the hotel. We're, you know what I mean, sipping what we could sip, pretending like we're ballers. we're prepared for this gig, yeah? Now, here's the crazy story that's going to end very quickly. 7,000 people, club sold out, Manchester. Listen, I'm going to say it clearly. We tore this stage down. There are crowds going, "Wait, what more?" I'm saying, yo, we're on fire right now. The next 2 weeks, 12 music magazines are opened. Not a single line about us in it. So I'm kind of like, yo, like, what go on? Like, no, let me get to that page. I know that DJ's going to, not a single line. Remember, the biggest artist at that point in America was the headliner. So they should have been mentioned it in that way. We didn't get a single line. Quickest story, London, back street, if you know Oxford Street, when you go down there used to be the back streets of it. Look a bit dirty, look a bit, you know what I mean, couple market stores and that. A record shop, they did a freestyle in there. Not organized, just a freestyle. I took the artist down, we've gone down there, we're hanging out. We've gone in the freestyle. I'm saying, yo, just take that mic and just murder that, yeah? Let's just get this straight. We murdered the mic. Hour later, man alive, I don't want that mic, you know, you lot just keep it. 4 magazines wrote about this thing in major pages. So in my brain, I says, you know what, sonically, I'm chasing the wrong gold. I'm chasing that fool's gold. Because we thought support American artists, they big us up. They bigged up the American artists. Who were we? We were just some random kid who tore the mic up. But no one don't get he's not going to open a magazine because Trev from Nottingham went to Manchester and tore it down. But in his record shop, in the back streets of London, it was a phenomenon. That couldn't happen. So the reality of what we could see, what we were watching was... So back to the story that I've just asked you about, management. Back in the early days, every dream, we wanted to meet Mobb Deep. We wanted to meet Redman. We wanted to meet Keith Murray. Coming forward wants to meet... But guess what? We met DJs who met publicists, who met TV people, met somebody at MTV, met somebody who worked at Nike. And guess what? We supported Keith Murray. We performed with Redman. We did gigs with Keith Murray. I mean, yeah, you know what I mean? And kind of Mobb Deep, all them people there. But we still didn't get famous. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So I lived the dream. I can say, hand up, hold my head up and say, you know what? We did the thing with the legends that I grew up wanting to even hear more of. But the money, terrible. We don't get peer. We're all traveling for nothing. You get what I'm saying to you? Man are telling you, don't worry. I know you're on the headlining bill, but my name's on the flyer along with Mobb Deep. You still not get peer though. You get what I'm saying to you? So take it as a blessing, yeah? You got the opportunity to do what you wanted to do. So just live the dream, yeah, and know the reality ain't really that. You get what I'm saying to you? dead quick. A good friend of mine called Estelle, she did a tune called American Boy. When she was up and coming, we used to giggle up with her. I remember getting a phone call off her and her saying, yo, like, you been paid yet? I'm saying, no, blood, this man ain't paid me the money yet. You know what I'm saying to you? So I remember the days when people who I still respect highly now were on the same level, doing things for literally the love of it, yeah? The beauty is now you lot exist in an industry where I know people, young T and Bugsy I've known for a long time. They attended our center as kids. They get paid, or they've done prolific things that I could only dream about. So is it better now? For me, yeah, it is better because you've got what we didn't get. You've got the opportunity to be legends right now in your lifetime. In our day, even though we did, I'll give you one, we performed on BBC TV for the 13 million people, yeah, back in 1999. But that was before the internet, so no one don't know about that, yeah? Me and my brother did a TV show on BBC Two. They did a half-hour TV show about us as brothers, why he and me both do music in Nottingham. It's a half-hour TV program. The whole of BBC Two watched it. No one don't know about it. You can say to you, with my props, man. But the truth is now you can do things that last forever. You can be the next Young T and Bugsy. You can be the next artist in Nottingham right now. Go into Market Square. You can't go Victoria Market because that's gone now, isn't it? Yeah. But anyway, you can go around Market Square, go Foot Locker, and you can be an absolute icon in this era now. We just had to accept that we could do what we did as big people. We didn't really get that. You know what I mean? You got a big fist, but you don't get the cake.
You paved the way, though.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Paving the way is a beautiful thing. You see, the one thing is I hold my chest high because I'm a good person in my own mind, which is I love what I do and I always have done. So I don't want no one to tank me. I don't want no one to give me no props that I don't deserve.
I've seen so many people put music out, yeah. They hear the song on the radio, but it's not registered with the PPL. They're not a member of the PRS, you know what I'm saying? And for the sake of 50 quid joining these things, every time you get your music played, you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what the PRS is?
Okay, so remember PRS and Google it, because once you get your song registered with the PRS, you get about 13 pound every time it's played on the BBC. Do you know what I mean? Think about the maths. If you get on a playlist, yeah, on the radio, there's A, B, and C playlists, yeah. If you get on the A list and your song gets played 20 times a day on the BBC, what's 20 times 13, yeah? If you get that across 10 radio stations, you see how you can make money just off radio plays. Do you know what I'm saying? If you had that worldwide, can you see how you make money? If your song was used in an advert, can you see how you make money, yeah? But if you're not registered with the PRS and the PPL, when your video gets played or your song gets played or when you perform, you can send them back and say, yeah, I performed it in all these places. It's easy money. You know what I'm saying? But loads of people, they forget about the business end. So they make all this good music, but they forget to get a back end sorted. So even if you got a friend with you that's not an artist, that doesn't perform, but they just roll with you all the time, yo, you can be the business manager, man. You know what I'm saying? Get somebody with you that's holding the phone. You know what I'm saying? Getting all this footage, because a lot of artists, they don't like, you know, shooting themselves for social media and all that stuff. Get a friend to do that. So build a team around you. Someone can be the DJ, someone can be the road manager, and before you know it, you're rolling around having fun with your friends and paying all your friends, and you've got a team. That's it.
Any questions?
I think having a team's all well, but when you've got a team that all rap, it ain't that good, because everyone thinks you're trying to compete with them. You understand? So that's all a mad thing.
That's not a team,
Yeah.
that's a crew.
Yeah, it's a crew, but it's a team. But then I've got a cameraman now. I didn't have a cameraman before. I was going through different cameramans. So now I've got my own cameraman and my own producer that I go to, which isn't even in Nottingham, because I just don't have that right now. So I've just had to travel out of the way. But I think when you start to have so much people in your circle, bare evil eye, bare envy, bare different type of things, it's not good. So I feel sometimes it's good to be by yourself. Because with me, I get kicked to the curb, I come back stronger, 10 times stronger. And people say, hey, what? People used to say this guy. Nah, bro, I'm coming with a banger the next day or whatever. I'm doing my thing. And then I'll see some people like, well, why haven't I got that? Because I got the hunger for it. If you ain't got the hunger and whatever, but if your team hasn't got the same views and the same beliefs, allow it. That's from my experience, yeah? I've been doing music for 10 years.
Yeah.
But not like releasing, just been writing and doing whatever. I've been releasing for a year, yeah? And my friends are like, why is he doing this and that? Because I've got the energy, I've got the hunger. I wake up in the mirror and say, no, I'm the greatest. I go home, go to sleep, I'm the greatest. every day I tell all my friends the same thing. Aisha, me and this girl here, yeah, we will ring each other. We will ring each other on the phone like, what should we do this? Should we do that? But some people don't have that. Some people don't want to do things with each other. Why am I not on this? Because you didn't roll with me to the last show and support, man. You get me? You didn't come studio with, man.
You've got a lot of energy there. You've got a lot of energy.
Bro, you know me. How long have you, man,
I
known
can tell
me?
he's an MC
Listen,
still,
yeah?
straight
up.
No, you know what it is, though? A lot of this music thing's fake.
100%.
And then it's the artists.
Yeah,
Most of the
100%.
artists are fake.
100%.
A lot of people say they're with you, say this and that, but they only want something off you.
1,000%.
You know?
You sound like you
1,000%.
should be up here.
So let me talk about, let me just address your first point, brother. Let me just address your first point. Because I started off in a group. There was 9 of us in the group, 9 MCs, 6 MCs, 3 DJs, all of us in a group. We ended up getting signed to Universal as a group, you know what I'm saying? And we'd make a song, and it's, you know, there's a lot of egos in the music industry, you know what I'm saying? So first of all, everyone got to be in control of their egos, right? So we'd make a song, and sometimes, you know, someone would pick a beat for the song, and I'd be thinking, nah, that beat's crap, man, I don't like that beat. But I'd have to go along with it, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, sometimes the topic of the song, someone would pick it, I don't really like that, but I'd have to go along with it, you know what I'm saying? So luckily, like, we modeled ourselves of like how Wu-Tang was. So we got signed as a group, as a collective to Universal, but then I was able to go and sign my solo deal by myself, you know what I'm saying? The group was like training for me, you know what I'm saying? And I valued myself writing my own songs as a solo artist as well, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a stepping stone type of thing, you know what I'm saying? And you're right, you are going to attract a lot of fake people in this industry. Let me tell you, the music industry is worse than being on the roads, because on the roads, if you don't like someone, you can do something to them. Like in the music industry, you do that, you get a bad reputation, no one wants to work with you anymore, you know what I'm saying? So you got to work on your image. There's so many layers and levels to this thing, do you know what I mean? You could be so talented in music, but you might not have any charisma. You might have a face that no one wants to talk to. You might be rubbish in interviews. So there's so many levels to this. If you've got somebody that's going to ride with you, you know what I'm saying? That's a blessing. Do you know what I'm saying? So you kind of have to approach this a little bit like a professional athlete. You have to eat it, sleep it, breathe it. You know what I'm saying? It's like a marriage. Some days you're going to be in love. Some days you ain't going to be in love, man. But if you really love it, you're going to end up there in the end, for real.
Quickest version. Everybody's an individual, yeah? You have to get out of bed. You have to brush your teeth. You have to, yeah? But a collective means that in a football team, there's a reason why someone's a striker, but you may want to be the striker. Someone's going to be the goalkeeper. He's not the bad guy. He's not the worst person. But in a team, you've still got to be individual. The player has to say, I want to be part of that team, but I'm an individual always, yeah? If I don't want to be there, then the team shouldn't pick me, shouldn't play me, shouldn't inspire me. So all them things you said, jealousy and all that, I think that's a life thing. I think you don't notice it until you get to a certain age. He's got hair longer than me. He looks better looking than me. In every part of life, I think there's a reason why we can judge things. But individuality means that you have to go to that place, but remember what your true journey is. It's a journey you're going on, but what it means is a team means, like he's saying, how many of you are artists in here? Quickly, how many are artists? How many send tunes to radio? How many are aware of PRS or PPL or MCPS? How many are signed to it? Yeah? I mean, there's loads of information that you need around all of the logistics, but sometimes there's a journey you've got to go on, and meeting people can help that journey, because learning everything on your own is hard if there's no one around. That's what I would just say, you know what I mean?
Oh, let me just throw this in. Sorry, I talk loads, but I'm passionate about this. Yo, get funding, man. Apply to Youth Music. Apply to Princess Trust. You're all young, do you know what I'm saying? So all this stuff, the PRS fund it as well. Like, you can get your journey paid for. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're blessed. We're in a country that's got a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of money for young people making music. So get somebody, again, that's on your team. You can come and talk to one of us, and you can apply for money, man. There's up to £10,000 for music projects. So that can pay for your videos, that can pay for your touring, that can pay for your gigging. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to get this in every country in the world, so take advantage of it. Do you know what I mean? You invest that money correctly, maybe make some merchandising along the side of it, you know what I'm saying? Sell some T-shirts, because let's be realistic, nowadays, yeah, it's not just about the music. The music is like a hook to catch people, but you can sell a lifestyle right now, you know what I'm saying? So music just gets you through the door, do you know what I mean? You could get through the door with your music, and then you could sell trainers, do you know what I mean? There's so many different brands that you can attach yourself to. Music is just going to be the starting point. Do you know what I mean? So be aware of that and be a bit savvy, get some good advice, get this free money, and get your career on track.
Okay. All right, people, we're going to take a 10-minute break. Yeah? And then come back and get back at it. Okay? My DJ. Here he is. So do remember, as you came in, everyone got a raffle ticket. That raffle ticket is going to be drawn a little later, and you win a music video shot by Shutter House. This guy here will be shooting a music video to the lucky winner of the raffle. Video Mikey. Okay. Back again, let's kick off. So, this is a question to anyone on the panel. So, what's your views and how important do you think it is with the whole music videos, social media, imagery and all of that type of stuff as an artist nowadays?
Essential.
Very essential.
100%.
Back in my days, like I'm saying, you barely had a telly. You know what I mean? So having it, I mean, you shot a music video without the Ville.
Yeah,
And how much was that music video? Would it have cost?
it would have cost about 300,000. You know what I'm saying to you? If you ever watched the original Tomb Raider, we shot at that location. We got a very big support. As a community project, this was great. A major film director who worked with Jackie Chan and blah, 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 blah. He came to us as a community group, and he got Sony's film studio so we shot on film. I don't know if you know the technique, but it costs a lot of money to shoot digital, but film is the original, like when you see Star Wars and all them, blah, blah. So the money it cost, we could never have paid. The location alone, they were hiring out for something like, was it 50 grand a day? Because it was the place where they shot we got it all for free. I had 12 clothing companies come down. I went to a place that had 6 stories. All Saints, all them people go there, get 6 bags of clothes for free to go on tour with. They gave me the link. Go there. We took 8 bags of clothes. We just took it, put it all on. People were just arguing at the video shoot. We're my brand. I couldn't believe life was good. As you can see, I haven't let go yet. You know what I'm saying to you? But yeah, only thing I would say, because I want the rest to talk as well. The only thing I would say is, back then, I would say personally, you make a video when you prove the tune's a tune. Yeah? Now, I've got you barely even laid the 8 bars, and them say, yo, the video man Trev, can I just send him this? Because the video guy, I'm saying, yo, like, the 8 bars ain't even firing yet. The chorus ain't even coming and hit me yet, but they've already got a video worked out. And people say, no, I give you the classic one, which I love to hear now, but I'm not an artist. So when I say that's not what an artist should do, they say, but I'm not an artist. I just make tunes. So now we've got that next level of, you can't tell me what I can and can't do because I can just do whatever I want. So do you have to be an artist or can you just make music? Do you get what I'm saying to you? But anyway, what you say, S?
No, it is essential. I think, I can't remember who just said it, like, the tune first, like, make sure it's out there popping. This is just my personal opinion from a little DJ angle and as used to be in an MC. Like, I think it's important that the tune is on everyone's neck. You've done the right production to get it out there, i.e. the big radio stations, DJs, even DJs that have got residency. Like, I don't have a residency, I can't do that because I'm booked out, but a lot of DJs that do residency as artists, get at them as well. The ones that DJ in your nightclubs, because, correct me if I'm wrong, I think if some of you guys was to perform, you're gonna wanna be starting off by backing up some of the acts, like you said, when you guys had the greats that you wanted to support and stuff, you'll be supporting some of your London rappers and stuff, and where they're performing is in the nightclubs, the under 21s, the under 25s, the under 18s. So them DJs that are playing in them clubs, see if they'll give you tune a spin, because everyone's gonna know it by then. So when everyone knows this song and it's a hype, bam, video. Do you get what I mean? That's how I feel about it.
You're gonna get tired of my voice, by the way. Just in terms of videos, yeah. I do think they're important, but I think sometimes the mistake people make nowadays is that they focus on the budget rather than the idea. Yeah, be creative with your idea because then your video will stand out. So I made a song once, and then I was like, there was 4 of us on the song, and I was like, yo, I want us to be like D'Artagnan and the Four Musketeers. I don't know if you ever heard of them. Anyway, long story short, we ended up flying to South Africa and shooting a video, doing stunt training, sword fighting and all that. And
Nice.
I've never seen a video like it before. But the point is, we was creative. Do you know what I mean? Like, videos are important, so be brave with them. So what I mean is, if you're a rapper and you got the hardest tune, then have a video where you're postman in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, be opposites. Like, be creative with it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, don't just do what everyone else does. Be different. Stand out. Do you know what I mean? If you've got a decent song, then the video, if it's really good, can propel it to the next level. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, sometimes like be smart as well. Like there's people that are in the university that want to shoot videos for free and need it as part as their qualification. So you can again network with them, get them to be part of your team, get the free cameras and stuff from the university. Go to some locations. You know what I'm saying? Like really plan this and take your time, and then you can have a better product.
Only because you see videos, you break your neck to do one, and then we sometimes, and I'm only being terrible here, sometimes we beg people to watch it. So that's what I mean. Try and get the tune buzzing or get a little vibe, because when you got to beg someone, come on man, share my video. It feels like, I know it takes a lot to do a video. It's a personal thing. It's part of you and always will be. So have a bit of pride and try and push that other side so that you don't have to beg me to put it on my Facebook wall or Instagram wall. I should be just sharing it because I should be like, local talent or new face or whatever. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Not just you begging me and me having to go, oh God, okay then.
Yeah, one more thing on video. So I used to, a few years ago, I managed a group, cause my son was in it, called Trinity Square from Nottingham, 5 rappers. And we had a song, and then we was like, yo, how can we make this video be a bit more? And then we got, who's your man who comes to the studio and does all the crazy dancing? Yeah, we got him and stuck him on the top of a car. Yeah, and he started doing all this crazy dancing. Like he had a mask on and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? We creative with it, and you know what I mean. You got to collaborate with people. Do you know what I mean? You might have a ballerina in the background. You know what I'm saying? You might have some crazy boxers in there. Like collaborate with people. Networking is key because it can make the visual stand out.
Next thing. My next question was going to be, how important is it to network? Yeah. As an artist, as a manager, anyone in the music, as a DJ.
Go on, Lee, get them, man, get them.
It's my time.
Yes.
It's everything. I put this up yesterday actually. I was just saying that my network is my net worth, because every opportunity I get is based on relationships. And so, alright, so obviously I was a bit older than you lot out there, and we've come through like real world connections. So before like the advent of social media, even YouTube videos, X, Y, Z, and like not being old school about it, because trust, I'm totally on that. I use social media. It's more for me, it's a tool. It's not something that I feel like I have to be on. It's not like I don't do it for a dopamine fix. I need to use it. But what we had to do was, when I first started, Trev will remember it, I went to the studio, I don't know how old I was, and I got talking about what I was trying to do. I said I wanted to put a record out, and he just gave me a Nokia 3210 with all the numbers in it that he had. I might have said this last time, so if you was here last time, you might have heard this story, so I'll keep it quick. And I wrote down every single one, every single number actually was on a piece of paper, pen and paper. And I called everybody, and I relentlessly did it. Some people told me to F off, some people said, what you up to, because they was interested. You know what I mean? Some
said stop giving out people's number, Trev, but I don't mind.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that. But do you know what, off the back of that, there's probably about 10 people to this day that I talk to on a regular basis that have helped me out through my career. And building that network is where all my opportunities come from. It's my sounding board. It's the place where I can feel safe. So I know a bag of people, because I've run a studio and I've been in Nottingham a long time. I know a lot of people, but I've got very few close friends. But it just so happens that those close friends are also people that are in my professional network. And that's what kind of, like I say, man, every opportunity is like it's almost like roots and branches from a tree. Certain trees are powerful ones, you know what I'm saying? And they might give you one link, and then that becomes like a really great friend, and then that links you on to somebody else. And also, if you're kind of talking the hardest, you're talking the most and you're a certain person, somebody else is going to at some point check to see if you're actually real and what you're actually really about. And so, yeah, man, how can I explain it? My network has kind of put me in very strong positions because I've had that cosign. Somebody that I don't know, they will know me through somebody else without me knowing that. And that's another thing. It's like a catalyst. Like that's how kind of yeah, okay, everybody uses social media probably 80% of the time now to kind of promote the stuff. But don't forget, you know, there's actually a real human being behind all of these different platforms. There's the people that say yes or no to what goes on there. So, you know, you can pay your 200, whatever it is, to go on GRM. If they don't know who you are, or you're not connected with somebody there, that's going to go on the pile. They'll collect their money and say thank you very much. 10,000 views if you're lucky, bye. But you take the time to find somebody that is connected there. They know you. They make a phone call. Oh yeah, that's Lee from whatever. He's doing this Miss record. He's doing whatever. Then it's like, right, cool. And then you can start to build something where it's like the network is immensely important, more so than anything. Don't ever forget that, man. Like the social media is amazing. You can reach a lot of people very quickly, but I know there's only certain people in the game that push buttons, and it's my business to be knowing those people and for them to respect me and for me to respect them. You know, I was saying earlier on, it's kind of like a dance. Do you know what I mean? You kind of help each other out, and you know, there's certain things that people might pass me, and certain things I might pass them. It's like it's just network's everything, man. Sorry, it really, really is. Even it's more important than the actual quality of the products, which is not necessarily a positive thing. But what they say is, what do they say? It's like, what, 20% talent, 80% business? Or, do you know what I mean? It's not what you know, it's who you know. Those things, really cliche, but it's really important, man. And yeah, my whole career has been formed based on how I interact with people. And if people really think you're a decent guy, and you're trustworthy, and you deliver when you say you're gonna do it, and you've got your business side of things straight, your money side straight, you've got, you know, everything's in place, they'll come back because they know you're reliable. And the other thing, real quickly, is to be a solution to people. Like, if you start to approach, you know, labels or management or A&Rs or whatever it is, when I first started out, it's like, obviously we're from the UK, right? So a few years back and stuff, people weren't focusing. Like Trevor was saying, these are the forefathers. We really got to respect people like this. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they laid the foundations. But people really weren't watching the UK like they are now. So things have changed. Things have changed a lot. Anyway, I'll stop. I'll be here all day.
Go on.
Go on. No, go
Well,
on. Go on.
I was gonna say, a funny story is when we started, we were youth club youths, yeah. So we used to roll to Birmingham or roll to London, and you talk to other youths in other ends, yeah. And then if we were lucky, we'd say, my man would say, yo, I know the guy at the Pirate Station. We could take you down there, you know, you could check my man. Big fist him. If you're lucky, we get a little freestyle, get to play the tune once. And then bit by bit now, you're thinking, yo, we know a brother in South London, but in North London, you come back, you work on it. So on a Pirate Radio level, you're making a little move. Yeah, you can't roll straight to Radio 1. You can't roll straight to, I don't know, Rinse FM. But you see that, you take them steps, and somebody knows somebody. That 6 degrees of whatever it's separation
Yeah.
is one of the greatest gifts ever given to somebody. Because when I started, what we used to do is I used to go town, old school, pull out the magazines. You read the number of the 5 top DJs, but them 5 top DJs work at certain nightclubs, and then that certain nightclub owner, on his social media, he follows somebody in Nottingham at a record shop, at a clothes store, at a sports convention, and you find that guy there, and you add him. And that guy in Nottingham who's following that guy, you say, oh, I do music. And they go, I know Riri in Birmingham, not the main guy, but somebody else. And then you follow the chain. And then you're planning though. So really, when you meet the Birmingham guy, you oh God, I know Riri in London. You know what? Send him my tune.
Yeah.
And you see by the time you work that chain and you sweat your blood and tears and you meet the big man in London who you've been planning to meet, he's saying, I'm sure I've heard of you.
Right.
Of course you'd heard of me, Virgin. I've been setting this thing up here for 3 months, you get what I'm saying to you? Working this thing hard.
Yeah.
But it's the same principle. Do you get what I'm saying to you?
What about, can I ask a question to you guys? Like, how do you feel in terms of like, so how confident are you to connect with people that are maybe beyond your reach, if you like, at this point in time? How confident are you to reach out and talk to people that are in radio or in, you know, working at whatever social media outlet, or, you know, would you approach a record label if you felt that you was ready to do that? How confident is everybody in the room? Like, anybody, somebody say something, please.
Well, I'll say something.
Okay.
When we started, Trevor was the manager, I was the producer. So I automatically took her back, because me networking and talking to people, it wasn't my bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not everyone's bag. So that was his natural thing. He can talk for England, and I knew that, so I left him to do what he's doing. But over time, because not that we've split, he's based in St. Anne's, I'm based in Radford, I've had to hone that skill and acquire that skill over time. You know what I mean? And it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy. but I've kind of put myself on certain platforms where I've had to step up and do what I need to do. Because you realize after a bit, like, boy, if I don't, like you're saying, network, it's your net worth. If you can't network, if you don't think it, then find somebody else who can do it for you, you can work with, because it is so important.
It's true. It's like what Casey was saying earlier on. Yeah, if you're not confident in yourself, build a team.
Yeah.
You know, and even if it starts off and it's not a team, you've got one person. Like most people have got somebody that's like, you know, representing what they're doing. A cheerleader. It's good to have somebody like that.
Yeah.
Employ them, put them on. Do you know what I mean? And they can make money too as long as you build. But you've got to find a way of reaching these people. And if you're not confident in yourself, that's fine. I think the misconception is in the world now, you know, with the way that the kind of social media platforms is, it's like you've got to be everything, but you don't. You know what I mean? It's a lie. It's not true. It's all fake. These people that are like, oh, you know, I'm this influencer and I do this and this is, you know, I market this and I go and do that. No, there's a team behind that. There's people behind that. Do you know what I'm saying? So find out what that structure is in your kind of situation and build from there. Try things out and get together, man. I was just saying to my man over here, like, the reason this is cool and we're all sitting here now is because it's in the real world. Like, yeah, social media, don't get me wrong, it's great. But we have to connect. We're still human beings. And there's, I'm going to get into my hippie stuff now. It's like, we resonate on a certain frequency. And if you can connect with somebody and they like you, I'm not famous, do you know what I'm saying? I've got, whatever, I don't know, 1,600 followers on Instagram. But I know if you step into my studio, whether you're a superstar or you're not, I'm going to deal with you properly. You're going to get your music done right, and I'm going to bring some energy. So I'm probably going to talk some things about production in a minute. Sorry, bro. Hey, that's a beautiful thing. But I try and say, like, it's a dance, man. You've got to learn how to be able to set your energy with people. It's super important, man. No matter how sick you are at what you're doing, if you're sitting there with your chin in your neck like this and you can't communicate, it might be your one opportunity, man. Yeah. I've made so many opportunities through that, and not by gassing myself up, but by just being a genuine human. Yeah, I can do what I say I'm going to do, but how I deal with you, that gets me all my business, man. That builds my network, because people know they can rely on me.
Got a question over here.
It's definitely the nerd at school. How do you feel about, obviously now we're in like the 21st century and stuff, and a lot of the networking is online. How do you feel about, say, because I work in corporate and we still use like business cards and stuff like that. How do you feel about sometimes going back to the original format of networking and like actually having print and handing it out and stuff like that? What do you lot feel about that? And do you think it's obsolete now, or go on?
I still got business cards.
Go on, talk your
Like,
talk.
I feel like it's still happening to a certain extent. This is in the DJ world. I can't really talk, but like I DJ a lot, and say like as we was on about networking, a lot of the times I've put on a good show and I'll come off and someone's not actually there because they came to the event to have a drink and have a nice time. They're actually there because they wanted to see what the DJs were like, because they're putting on an event, and I've come off and people from London have come up to me. I'm from London, I'm keeping an event, have you got a business card?
Yeah.
I just have to unzip one pocket on my bag and I've always got them. People always laugh at me, oh, you got business cards. That's why I have them. Because other than that, what tends up happening is you take out your phone, you put your number in, there's loud music and stuff, you put your name in, he don't remember. Now he's kept 3 dancers and he just remembers that DJ was bad, but I can't remember his name, you know. Was it David, was it John, he don't remember. So I feel like to certain extent it's still happening. Not so much when we're putting on events, I don't print flyers anymore or have posters, but with the business card side of things and that little kind of stuff there for the DJing world, I still do it, and I know a few people that still kind of do that strongly as well.
It's totally relevant because, you marry the old with the new.
Yeah.
So if I was going to have a business card, I've got a biometric on the back of it. I'm not going to give you no bullshit.
Yeah.
Take a snap of that and you've got a link to everything I've got.
Yeah,
but the thing that's cool about it is it's close contact, isn't it? So to get a business card, I've got to stand next to you. We're going to have a conversation. So that's an opportunity to make an impact. Once you made the impact, then your business card, all the details are there. All starts with the seed, man.
Let me jump in before Trev got bars.
Yeah.
You know the crazy thing about music as well, yeah? It's like everyone expects something out of it without putting anything into it.
100%.
So like, you know, go and pay money to go and see the artist that you like, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
you don't need to tell me that.
go and support them because there'll be like-minded people around there. Do you know what I mean? And not to get too deep, but when you put the energies into something, then you're gonna get the energies back. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
100%.
everyone just expects the freeness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So invest a little bit in music, and then that way, the universal law is that you'll get something back. Do you know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to do that. And yeah, you'll find like-minded people, you know, doing the same thing. Like tonight, everybody invested their time, right, and came here, and then now you got some knowledge back, and there's some like-minded people around, and that's how life kind of works. It's a reflection, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? What you put into something, you're gonna get out. You know what I mean? It's not a one-way street.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks.
Do you know what I noticed though? And it's not a negative thing. Maybe it's I don't know, a generational thing. But you know, when we did the break, not many people really moved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not many people really, because you know what you want, like what you dealing with. Like, are you a producer? Do you know what I'm saying? There's a guy over here that's doing engineering. Obviously, there's people that are rappers. Wicked for what's standing up and stepping up and doing that and taking the confidence. I wanted to come over and see what you're doing, but you're a room full of creative people, man. Like, why don't you talk to each other, man?
Yeah.
Just saying.
See, I can't finish on that now. I see you done it there.
Yeah, but I think though sometimes social media makes us a bit lazy though. You know what I'm saying? It makes us lazy, but yeah, the real world is where it's at, man. So if you're not that confident, work on that, man. Do you know what I mean? Because if I bang some headphones on you lot and on an Xbox or a PS, you'd be super confident. You know what I mean? So take that confidence into the real world, man, because you can meet some people and you make some changes, man. 100%.
Yeah.
The quickest way I would say is part of the music industry, making a tune is phase one. Making that tune into an entity is phase two. So the amount of time you put into thinking of that tune, recording it, writing it, producing it, think you've got to generate that same amount of time in translating that into everyone's brain. The radio sell you things by advertisement, sponsorship, linking it with, oh, did you hear what happened to Kanye West? His girlfriend left him. Bam, he's got a new album out. So you got to think of certain things that they do to embed tunes in your brain. So I'm not saying you've got to live them same lives, but think of it as that. The phase that you put into creating the music legacy has to be the same as what you put into writing the bars. There's a journey there.
Yeah, there is, man.
Remember, you could get a song famous just off TikTok now. Do you know what I mean? So utilize the tools that's around you, man, because, you know, back in the day we didn't have none. You know, there's a lot more legwork.
And I just think like the whole TikTok, Instagram, and all of that, I find a lot of young people utilize it, but what is your advice on it? Like, can they make money from it? Like, what's the best ways to use it? You know what I mean? And all of that type of stuff. Because people put up videos and they'll come and like, oh, I got 1,000 views. And then what?
Yeah, you got to use it, but you got to use it to your advantage because, you know, when I was managing a group a couple of years ago, and sometimes they won't really want to post anything unless they was at the top of something, like doing something amazing. They didn't really want to post the day-to-day stuff. But for me, anything's interesting. Like, yo, record your process of how you're making a song, you know what I'm saying? So I can kind of follow the journey with you, you know what I mean? Post a couple pictures of you writing the music or just coming up with your music, do you know what I mean? Like, be creative, do you know what I mean? And that way, people, you'll gain followers. It might be one follower a day, do you know what I mean? But, and don't really watch the numbers as well, I would say. Do you know what I mean? Because again, like, social media will have you thinking, oh, I've only got 100 followers, I'm not doing well. So, like, you kind of got to run this thing like with horses with blinkers on and don't watch what anyone else is doing and really believe in yourself. And, yo, it might take 5 years, it might take 10 years, it might take 20 years. Do you know what I mean? Like, are you doing the music because you love it, or are you doing it because you want other people to see you? Like, ask yourself that question. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, back in the day, if I'm walking around and I see a beautiful lady, like, if she knows that she's beautiful, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't got to tell her that she's beautiful. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like she knew without me saying anything. That confidence was there. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the same confidence in your music, man, because there's going to be a lot of people that tell you your music's rubbish. So what, are you going to take on board what they say and stop? If you love something, you're going to love it regardless. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to get all the negative comments or have no followers. Just do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? There's rappers that I like now that I thought was rubbish 20 years ago. First time I heard Jay-Z, I thought it was rubbish. You know what I mean? Now I'm one of his biggest fans when it comes to his music. You know what I mean? So music is funny like that, man. Sometimes it's just about staying consistent, doing your thing, and at some point I'm gonna be like, raw. You know, if someone was knocking that door, I'd ignore them, yeah? But after 5 minutes, I'm gonna go answer the door. You know what I'm saying? Music industry the same. Like, if you keep knocking, at some point, someone's gonna answer the door.
I think to touch on what Kay said as well, this is from personal experience, so I know it firsthand. With my DJing for a long time, I didn't get loads of pictures when I'm out, so I used to feel like, oh, I'm a DJ. Can't post a DJ picture, so I don't post nothing. What I come to realize is, and you forget as yourself when you're in your line of work, artist, producer, or whatever, people still want to see that you're a normal human. So the everyday stuff, me probably doing the school run, singing to Whitney Houston, and then I'm going to do some DJing with some kids, and then tonight I'm in a club. People like to see your story, they like to see that stuff. So like you said, utilize the stuff around you, your TikTok. If you've got something that might be funny or something, like, use it, get it up there. Do you get what I mean? And what I come to realize is, once I started doing that, my thing went up and up and up more, and then I started posting my reels and my videos. So I learned that firsthand myself. Before, I'd be like, oh, I'm not posting that. That's good to me, but do you know what I mean? The more interaction, the more I started getting interactive with everything and posting a normal everyday stuff and mixing it with my DJ pictures, I got a better response, and then that gave me a bigger drive to do more, which is why I've got to kind of where I've got to now. Do you get what I mean? You can't be afraid. You don't ask, you don't get.
There we go. I've got a bit of a sore throat, so hopefully you can hear me. Mainly to for producer, but any of you can answer this. What advice would you give to your 20-year-old self, and with amount of hours you're putting in each week to your craft, what's been the progression from the start to now?
I'll answer the first off, if that's all right, and then see where it goes from there. False idols, man. Kill them. Kill the false idols. It's great to be inspired by amazing artists. But in my younger career and stuff, I was so gasped. I obviously just love music immensely. So the people that are so talented at it, you just feed on it constantly. And you're just like, oh my gosh, this person's amazing. But what you do by doing that is you don't put them on a pedestal. You put yourself down into the ground, do you know what I'm saying? So that didn't help me with my self-belief. I spent a long time, I was working every day on my music, but I was like, I'm not going to get my drums to knock like Pharrell does, or do you know what I mean? Or I'm never going to be in a position potentially to kind of work with whoever it might be. But that is something that's really negative for your own energy. You really got to believe in yourself. You don't have to tell everybody about it. Obviously, social media seems to think that you've got to tell somebody something all the time, how freaking amazing you are. But put in what they say, like the 10,000 hours. Yeah, enjoy that process. I would tell myself to really just enjoy that process and not pressurize myself, because that's where the true art gets made. And when you've got true art, then you've really got something amazing to promote at that point. So I put myself down too much in the past, and I put too much pressure on myself in terms of just looking at what other people are doing. Like Kay was saying there about the blinkers. You know what I mean? That is definitely what I would tell myself first and foremost. The second half of the question, I can't remember what you said, so I'll let somebody else do that one.
I've got to say this. I would tell my 20-year-old self, don't smoke so much weed. And the reason I'm saying that is because I didn't really have no one to tell me that. I had to learn by my mistakes. But you got to remember, man, this world is not set up for you to be healthy and be successful, man. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of barriers that we can be faced with in this world. Drugs being one of them, alcohol being one of them, you know what I'm saying? And even if you're successful, you know what I mean? These are things that could hinder your journey, man. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we get tricked into thinking, oh yeah, if I smoke a spliff, it's gonna help me be more creative and all this stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you gotta watch the people that's around you as well, because you know they think it's cool because you're a producer or you're an artist. You know what I'm saying? And they could be messing you up, man. So I would say, honestly, imagine yourself as an athlete, you know what I'm saying? And you don't need these crutches, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to get high, man, to make the best music, man. Believe in that jewel, what's been put inside of you, man. And you know, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, man. So just beware of the people around you. Make sure you've got a good team around you that you can trust and that will love you and support you when you feel bad about yourself. And yeah, you'll make it, man.
What was the second part again?
So it was about how many hours you put in per week, and then how's that changed from
Back
start
then
of your journey
to now.
to now?
Honestly, honestly, I don't think. I mean, if you're consistent enough to be able to do what you do, I don't think it changed at all. I mean, when I started, I was single, so I had no kids, so we used to work all day, all night. I'd be at studio at 6 o'clock trying to learn to play the piano, telling myself I can play drums, trying to play guitar, because I kept thinking, well, I need to stop sampling so much. So if I learn to play it all, no one told me you can't just pick up a guitar and learn to play it like in seconds. But every day I get up and I'll be twinging these strings now, and I say, yo, I've got this now, I've got this, I've got a C major, I've got, you know what I mean? And 20 years down the line, I don't think it really changes. I think that the drive that I have now would outdo all of you. If we was to run around the block now, I'm coming first, whether you believe it or not. That's the drive I've got.
Trust me.
You know what I'm saying to you?
Trust me.
Yeah. So I don't think
believe
it.
me,
I think it's. I think negativity can. I think negativity can lock us down and can make us believe that you can't do. And when you're young or when you first start, you're the freest you'll ever be. Yeah. No one can't. And we all kind of go, I've got to make the chorus 8 bars. I've got to make the verse exactly this. Why? Because the rules dictate the actions. But when you start as a DJ, he's going to be like, yo, no, this tune, yeah, and it's kind of different, you know. But whenever I play it, it goes off. And sometimes that's the thing that we most look for or most admire as we go along. In a studio, if he's recording 50 artists in a year, imagine what he could say about the ones that he remembers. Sometimes there's a reason why he remembers you. So I think personally, the strangle is the fact that we believe that we have to do exactly what we're told. Once you become an artist, once you become known, once you become successful, do what you want. And never forget that that's what's driving you. Listen, we're here now, and I know everybody here, yeah? I don't wait for the mic. I jump on that mic. I'll talk. I'll say something. I've got that JC in me, you know what I'm saying to you? I'm just out there, and I've always been there. And anybody who knows me going back will always say, no, don't give Trev a mic. Just let him go on there, but don't give him the mic. Don't give him the mic. Because that passion's still there. And they can't take that from you. That's yours, and that's free, and no one can control that for you. So don't make them ever control it. Do as much as you want, but it changes. I wasn't a music maker. I became a piano player in my own estimation. I'm not amazing, but I can play. I've become a songwriter because I've wrote so many songs with kids who couldn't that I can now say, and see, yeah, you need to kind of curve, you know what I'm saying to you? So you learn new affirmations as you go along. So you become more. People go, but I've seen you. You can play piano. And I'm like, I'm not a piano player. But they go, I've seen you. So what the steps that you take lead other people. And the minute you put a tune out, you're somebody to a lot of people behind you.
It's true, man.
You're a music maker. You're an artist. So the one tune you make, whether it's good or bad, that's a legacy in itself.
Yeah, man. Amen. I think just to finish up on it as well, going back to that, you know, looking at the younger self version thing as well, like, I will always be passionate and I will always be busy, but I'm not a busy fool. Like, back in the day, you see Dame Dash or whatever running around, he's got 4 phones and stacks of dough and stuff. It's like, I don't know, when you start to, what's changed for me is I work really hard, but I focus on what it is I'm really trying to achieve. I spend more time these days looking at what really fulfills me, and yeah, I could sit there. So I run Element Studios, and I will gas it because I work freaking hard for it, but it's the best studio in the city. I'm sorry, it is. I work hard for that, but I somewhere along the lines kind of lost the process a little bit because I ended up working for the studio rather than the studio working for me. You know, I'm putting in however many hours, and I thought it was sick. But in a way, not to give you my life story, but I think that is a working class mentality. I've grown up seeing everybody around me working their arse off, like 7 days a week. My dad going out having a job 5 days and then going working Saturday, Sunday as well, just so he could like put shoes on my feet. So it's like, yeah, that's great to have that work rate, but really and truly, is that winning? It's not, because it's not smart. It's not working smart. So I've learned, after it took me way long to learn this stuff, is to actually prioritize what is important to me and what's the kind of most efficient way of getting to that. Then I'll grind. I'll look at what the potential is in that situation. I'll look at it, because I'm not being hard on myself, because you have to go through it. You've got to go through situations where, like, you know, when you're younger, you take opportunities when they come. Jump at them, you go for it. But then you start seeing some of those things might have a dead end, or it might not work out. So yeah, it's great. Do it, of course, but make sure you learn from it, and just make sure that you're fulfilling what you want to do as a person. Do you know what I mean? Not just because, again, back to the social media and the industry, and I've got to do 8 posts a week, and I've got to do this, and I can't stand all that. Look at me, I'm super busy. Are you actually delivering anything, and is it going anywhere? You know what I mean? And is it fulfilling you in your soul? Do you know what I'm saying? You need to fulfill yourself.
That's right. Well, people, it's true what they're saying, it. Time flies when you're having fun. Is it not right?
Well, I got a couple more things to
It's
say.
right,
yeah.
innit? Like, we're just getting in, man's getting, you with me? I'm like, I'm hearing you lot say things, I'm ready to jump in, and I looked at my watch, I'm like, raw, it's time. But it's not the end of this. Like I'm saying, communicate is about this. Us sitting down, having that conversation, people being able to talk with each other, see what's happening in our town. Because like I always say, Nottingham is full of creatives. Yeah? Full of creatives. But a lot of the time you don't know because you're in your own little bubble doing your thing. You get me? Like, my man might link with my man over there and you've got a gem popping off, you get me? It can be that simple at the end of the day. And unless you try, it's never going to happen. You know, one of them, it's never going to happen. But, yeah, I'm not as good as Trev yet, but we're done now, yeah? Next event will be the 18th of March, and it's going to be at the new Art Exchange. It's going to be a live performance. So if there's any performers in here who want to jump up on that stage, sing, rap, poetry, holler at my man at the desk, put your name down, because I want it to happen, yeah? If you've got the guts, if you haven't, but you want to try, still come in. Come and talk to us. We'll try and work with you and get you up to that stage so you can get on that stage and do your thing at the end of the day. You with me? Because unless you get out there, like, what are we doing this for? You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And I think the good thing is being in an environment of people that you know, you feel comfortable with and you trust. And they know who's going to guide you and back you. You get me? At the end of the day. Because we've been there. We're all old men, Mel. Don't know about me, but they're all old men now. You get me? So they've been and done what they're doing. And it's your lot's time now. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And I'm a strong believer in, like, why start from the beginning when you've got people here that's done it that you can tap into and start that little further forward? So you don't have to do that big journey and hardship. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be that. We're trying to make it easier. You know what I mean? So, like I say, communicate. It's not the last of. There's going to be more events. There's going to be more stuff that we will be doing. And remember these faces. Yeah? Because at the end of the day, we're trying to make change. Yeah? So, sorry to say, this is it, folks. Going to pull the raffle for the video winner. Who's going to do the draw? Who wants to draw the ticket?
Boy, go on.
Oh,
then.
God,
Go
here
on,
he
then.
goes. Look, here he goes. Hey?
Why?
Here we go.
You got one, yeah?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Okay. Danny.
Danny,
07.
is that you?
Oh, 20. Hey, boy.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, man.
So, before we go,
What's he got?
free music, like,
life good, man.
like
life
back
good.
in that was Gold Dust.
Yeah.
You get me, fam?
Yeah.
Gold Dust.
You don't want to hear about how we had to sort out our first music video.
Trust me.
You're not ready for that yet. That's a
Well,
story.
before we go, like, can I have a final word from everyone?
Oh, I'm so glad you said that, bro. My final word, I thank you. I want to say something. Don't be disheartened when you put your music out and you've only get like 10 views or 20 views or 30 views. Please just keep going. Yeah, keep going. Like I said, it could take a long time, could take a short time. To be honest, it's better that it takes a long time because someone told me once, anything that goes like that comes down quicker. Really, you just want it to rise up slowly, man. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, my final word is just keep going, man. Keep going.
I just offer my back to social media. Just it's Liati_elements. Send me a DM if you're interested. I know I said before I weren't trying to go at anybody when I was talking about like not communicating in the room. I have to understand that it's difficult for some people to do that. I'm not saying it is or it isn't, but if what I'm saying is of any interest, utilize us, like Courtney's saying, innit? So just drop me a message on Insta and I'll definitely get back to you. If I can help, then I definitely will do. And just look, the best of luck with everybody in their career, man. Just sending love to everybody, really.
Yeah, same. Just let's get it cracking, you know what I'm saying to you? Because in the end, it's an industry. It's not the easiest thing, but it's a life. And if you like music, in 20 years, you'll still like it. In 30 years, you'll still love it. And the heart doesn't get any weaker. The belief's always going to be there in your heart and your mind. So just keep telling yourself, yeah, man, this could be that moment. If a few of us in there got together, chat, send a few tunes, do a little gig, cut a little video, do something again, you know what I'm saying to you? It's a beautiful thing, trust me. And freedom is ours to make whatever we want it to be. So, you know what I mean? Just, yeah, let's do that thing, man.
Final word, I'd say stay focused, keep grafting, and make sure you're happy within.
And just before I'd go, I'd like to thank everyone out there. Look, can you see it? Out there on the live stream. Because we're here, but there's people out there on the live stream as well. Yeah? Big up Chelsea T, our in-house DJ. Big up all the Communicate staff. Yeah? Let me look at my watch because I'm getting prompts as I'm going along. And followers on Take One Studio on Insta. Yeah? Thank you for coming, and I'll definitely see you all again. Yeah? Thank you. Oh! Rob.
Next door, if you want to go next door now, there's a live performance going on now. So what Courtney was talking about, there's one going so you can see for yourself.
Who's got bars?
Oof, don't say that. JC's on his toes, look. Yeah. So like I said, next event, 18th of March, is going to be a performance. If you're interested, if you know anyone that's interested, get your name down. Let's make it happen. Thank you. Goodbye. Have a great night.
Peace.